What's up everyone and welcome back to Nexus. With Hurricane Matthew making history this week, we decided to make a list of the craziest hurricanes ever recorded in history. Just a reminder, we're still giving away an Amazon gift card and it's really easy to enter. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel and you're entered to win. Anyways, let's try to hit that golden like button for this video, which is 1,000 likes, so make sure to click the like button to help us reach our goal. And before we get into this video, I want to make it clear there is nothing cool or funny about hurricanes or tropical storms. They are extremely dangerous and we understand the dangers of people suffering from Hurricane Matthew. On that note, if you are in any risk or any kind of danger from Storm Matthew, then please evacuate. It's not worth the risk. Now with that said, let's get into the top 10 craziest hurricanes of all time. Number 10, Andrew. Storm Andrew hit South Florida in August 1992. When it first began, Andrew was actually considered to be a pretty weak storm, and it came in a year filled with other storms that were weak. But unfortunately, it gained wind pretty quickly. By the time it hit the Bahamas, it was a 160 miles an hour Category 5 storm that tore through America. Andrew did an estimated $26.5 billion of damage to Florida, and was the storm that led to a new South Florida building code that caused all new homes to have storm shutters and roof nail requirements.
The number is 579-6613. Call that number. 579-6613, and you can find out what your hours are going to be. The Dade State Attorney's Office will be opening on Monday. Miami will open its building and zoning office from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to help process permits for home repairs. That'll be at 275 Northwest 2nd Street. All of Miami's mini city halls will be open today from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The phones aren't working that well, but there will be people in each office.
Number 9, Hugo. Hurricane Hugo was a devastating storm that hit the Carolina states in September of 1989. It was a Category 4 storm that reached speeds of up to 135 miles per hour and moved forwards at 30 miles per hour, an incredibly fast speed for a storm. It made landfall at Sullivan's Island, South Carolina, and caused a huge damage inland after passing Charleston.
Charleston was dealing with, and it wasn't something to fool with.
Number 8, Sandy. Before reaching America in October 2012, Sandy first wreaked havoc in Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti. It caused storm surges of more than 13 feet and left areas in lower Manhattan underwater and wiped parts of Staten Island and the Queens. It destroyed or damaged around 650,000 homes and dealt over $65 billion in damages. Now, this storm was the most memorable storm for me. I was in the location that it hit, and it was one of the craziest experiences that I've ever seen in life. Seeing the streets of New York flooded was one of the most crazy things. It was definitely different than a snowstorm or anything like that.
This is just absolutely unreal. This house floated off of its foundation. This is a road. This road stops with this house and no more road. Completely washed away, gone. This house, leveled, and what's absolutely insane is you come over here and you think, what is this? Why is there a field right here? That's not a field. This was their driveway. This is the driveway into the house that's no longer there, and it slid over there. That might be this house, that yellow one, or this house could be that one. So that house slid from this point down to that point.
Number 7, Camille. Camille is the second of the Category 5 storms on our list. It made landfall in 1969 and left a trail of devastation from Cuba all the way up to Virginia. It formed near the Cayman Islands as a Category 3, but gained power as it moved up to Mississippi, hitting wind speeds of 200 miles an hour at its strongest. Even after the bulk of Camille dispersed into a tropical storm, it kept on causing damage in the form of flash flooding and mudslides. Camille actually ended up being the storm that inspired the current system of ranking hurricanes on their wind speed.
And in the darkness it came. The power was out for most areas when the wind and the water and the full power of Camille roared out of the Gulf and over the Mississippi coast. The sun rose that Monday morning over complete devastation. More than 130 people died in the torrent of water and wind. Eastbound Highway 90 along the Mississippi coast was destroyed.
Number 6, Gilbert. Gilbert was one of the largest storms to ever form in the Atlantic area. It was a Category 5 that stretched 500 miles across and originated near the islands of Cape Verde on the west coast of Africa. It became a Category 5 storm in September of 1988 and literally covered the entirety of Jamaica, damaging nearly 80% of the island's houses. It eventually broke down and became a series of tornadoes in Texas.
Making landfall after its eye completely passed over Jamaica 2 days earlier. The minimum central pressure at landfall in Cozumel was estimated to be 900 millibars. It was the first Category 5 to make landfall in the Atlantic Basin since Hurricane David hit Hispaniola in 1979.
Number 5, the Labor Day Hurricane. This Category 5 was considered the strongest storm to ever hit the United States in the 20th century. It hit the middle of the Florida Keys in 1935 and plowed its way through Labor Day celebrations. This storm was so bad because it came long before any true hurricane tracking systems came about, meaning residents pretty much had no idea where the storms were going to end up or where they were going to hit. As you can imagine, this could be pretty devastating. Number 4, Katrina. When you think hurricane, the first twister that comes to mind will usually be Hurricane Katrina. This hurricane caused $108 billion in damages and claimed nearly 2,000 lives. It also caused 400,000 people to move out of New Orleans, many of who never returned to their home area. The worst thing about Katrina is that it looked like it was dying back out on the 26th of August, but when it moved over to the warm water of the Gulf, it strengthened back up to a Category 5. This was so devastating because everyone thought it was dying out, and then it came back and hit stronger than ever and did way more damage than anyone expected. This is truly one of the most devastating hurricanes that many of us live to talk about today. Number 3, the Galveston Hurricane. This hurricane happened way back in the 1900s, but it was incredibly deadly. The storm destroyed areas in Oklahoma, Florida, Kansas, but most of its damage was done in the state of Texas. It destroyed almost 3,600 homes and a load of buildings that were meant to be considered storm-proof. The Galveston hurricane did so much more damage and killed so many in the area, Galveston took these crazy steps to make sure the damage was not repeated. They built a huge seawall and raised the entire level of the city upwards of 16 feet. Number 2, Mitch. Mitch was a slow-moving hurricane that dealt damage in Honduras in 1998, though it didn't get much coverage on the news at the time. When it made landfall in Honduras, the hurricane sort of stopped moving. That's not to say that the hurricane disappeared, it was still spinning, but it swept huge areas of Honduras away by spinning over the country for over 2 days. It literally just stopped there and destroyed everything that was right in its eye. To think if that would have happened with any other hurricane is just crazy. Number 1, the Great Hurricane of 1780. This list of hurricanes is topped by an event that happened over 200 years ago, long before the naming system and category system for hurricanes was even considered. It killed around 22,000 people through almost a week of storms. The winds topped well over 200 miles an hour, considering it stripped the bark off of trees and swept away warships from the Revolutionary War. It was a crazy storm, and it just makes me so thankful that we have the internet today to warn us about these crazy storms and the tracking system. It's just crazy to think that back in the day, they had nothing like this, so storms like this were so devastating because people had no idea, and they maybe thought that it was going to be a little storm, it's going to be a little lightning, it's going to be a little thunder, but when in reality, it was just the craziest storm, and it's just so It's terrifying to think about, and it just makes me so thankful. Anyways, that was our list of the top 10 craziest hurricanes. Did you think we missed something better? Don't hesitate to leave a comment down below letting us know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to click the like button to help us reach our goal for the golden like button. Thank you so much, everyone in the storm of the eye. Make sure to stay safe. Have a great day, and goodbye.